Tonight was not again another typical Friday night for us in the age of COVID. You know, normally you'd be in a bar and a restaurant right now, but last call seemed to be minutes after the sun went down. A closing time was 10 o'clock. It's all part of the governor's new restrictions, which took place at 5 o'clock tonight. WMAR 2 News' Ray Strickland is live for us as the streets rolled up early in Towson tonight, right, Ray?
Yeah, Jamie, closing time came early for businesses like the TOWSON Tavern, and the owner here says he's not necessarily upset about it if it means getting COVID-19 under control, but if the surge gets worse, he says he's worried about bars and restaurants being completely shut down.
The business community is once again collateral damage of COVID-19 as cases continue to rise across the state. Virtually every business in Maryland now has their capacity capped at 50%. Bars and restaurants also have to close at 10 p.m. unless they have takeout.
Everybody has to do their part, so this is part of it.
Brian Recker is the owner of Towson Tavern and the Rec Room. Before the new state rules, he could stay open until midnight based on the Baltimore County policy. Recker says he understands the need for new restrictions, but he's also concerned about the impact they could have on his staff.
The 50% is okay for us. I mean, we have a lot of space, and that's not so much the bad part. It's the closing early part that really affects us. You know, it affects business, but it also affects our guys that are working here.
In the past week, the state reported more than 2,000 cases 5 times and more than 1,000 for 17 straight days. There's been nearly 180,000 cases and more than 4,000 deaths in Maryland so far. If it gets worse, Recker worries the state could force bars and restaurants to close again.
There's a lot of people that work in this town that have restaurants, that have decades of their life, their livelihood here. And not being able to work, not being able to earn a living sucks.
It's almost like COVID isn't a thing.
Towson student Tara MACCRONE says she supports the restrictions because she says too often people aren't following the rules.
A lot of people just act like, oh, like the first wave's over, it's not the big talk anymore. Schools aren't this isn't the beginning, so we're just gonna act like nothing happened.
And these restrictions are just one way to slow the spread, but like the governor has said countless times, wearing a mask and social distancing will be the best way to beat the virus. Live in Towson, Ray Strickland, WMAR 2 News.
All right, Ray.